Hello there, welcome back. This is it the sixth video of the series? And today we're going to talk about a gift that many feel is the most important gift. I'm not sure about that. What I would say is they're all quite important. This is a gift that divides opinion, though. Many people think, ooh, it's a little bit scary, and some people think it's amazing. It's the most pure connection we have with the subconscious world. And the gift is called many things: channeling, trance, um, and it's where some people use it for different ways. Some people do deep trance and they literally lay floppy on a chair, and then when they wake up they speak differently in a different voice. Some people they actually allow spirit to materialize so you can see them again. Um, And it is at first, when you're a very logical person, it's like, oh, what's the point in that? Seems a bit strange. But I can only vouch for how I use it in what I do and why. Um, let me tell you how I got involved with it first, because everything that I've took on, every gift that I've learned in my life, spiritual gift that is, I've um, I've generally learned how to do it myself eventually, and then I become aware of the usefulness of the gift. So I used to get this feeling when I used to do my visualization or my meditation, whatever you want to call it, or self-reading is what I like to call it, to be honest. When I do my self-reading, I felt this thing building on me, and uh, and a friend of mine says, "You need to start using using that gift for other people." I said, "What gift do you want?" Transfiguration. And I went, "Yeah," but I wasn't convinced it was true because I've got very bad eyesight, and I know I can't see spirit on other people. I can't see physically what is happening because I'm blind when it comes to that. In fact, I can remember a friend of mine. He actually bought me a ticket to go and see someone do deep trance at a spiritualist church. So I went because he bought a ticket, but I say I can't see, so it was a waste of time for me to go. And I must admit, I saw how it inspired other people, and I thought, yeah, it is quite inspiring. And he did deep trance, and this guy stood up and he's speaking from the spirit world. He says he lives in the spirit world, this guy. And people were asking him questions about what it's like over there. And I remember the one thing that got me into action was an elderly lady asked the man, "Is it true they have angels over there?" And the man went, "Poppycock, a load of poppycock." And I thought, well, that's a bit harsh, getting rid of all the angels for people. So then I asked a question. I stood up and says, "Would you mind if I ask a question?" And he said, "No." And I says, "Would it be fair to say that just like in material world, as in where we live now, there are people who know much and people who don't know as much, and there's different levels. And is it fair to say that it's also true in the spirit realms that there's people who know not a lot, and there's people who know very much, and different levels? So is it fair to say that on a higher level, angels can exist, but you're just not level enough to see them?" Anyway, that is true too. So I've saved then all the angels for the ladies, which I was quite pleased about. So, but I still come away thinking, well, what am I going to do with this stuff? What use is it other than scaring people? And so I asked a friend of mine, Kevin Davies, if you're there, hi Kev. I asked him to come to my shop and to watch me meditate, just for about 15-20 minutes. I didn't tell him what he might see. I didn't tell him what to expect. I just said, "It's just important that you look at me." And he went, "Okay." So we did it. And when I opened my eyes, I says, "What did you think?" I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically it was something like, "It scared me. I saw my father." He says, "Your eyes were closed, but my dad's eyes opened and your hair changed." And I thought, well, this is true because I can feel it happening and he'd tell me what happened. And I thought, well, okay, so what am I going to do with it? So thanks for that, Kev. What am I going to do with it? And so I advertised in the local paper for for 15 volunteers. And I brought them to my home, put them in a circle, and I sat with a lady in between, and I asked for their loved one to come. And she saw her husband, and she started to cry, and I thought, well, feelings, well, I've learned to feel more now, about feelings now, but I used to be quite guarded. I didn't really like feelings too much because it reminded me that I'm not the most sensitive person. I understood that now, and I've learned, but I felt maybe it's not a group thing then. Maybe this is a one-to-one thing. And I used to call it the beautiful truth reading. And also when I post this video, I will put a few reviews. It's a fair few years back, a review of people who were my guinea pigs, just so you know that people enjoyed it. So I was still questioning what use is it, even though I did like the readings that you've got these reviews for. And I thought, well, okay, it's very detailed, and yeah. And after many years, I found out exactly what it is good for me anyway. Before I moved to America, I got a phone call asking if I could do one session with a couple who'd been through an ordeal. She'd had a stillborn baby and she was in a really bad place. Now, you don't know who she is, so I can talk about this. It's a long time ago. And so they came, and I said, it's really important that you look at me when I'm talking. It's really important. So as I was talking and discussing things with the couple, she says, I can see my mum's face on your face. Oh, okay. And then he saw his father, and they both saw the baby. And I now was inspired to say, I know you went through an ordeal. I think it was 12 years ago. I don't need to know what that is. That's fine. But I know what it did to you, how it made you react. You totally closed down as a person. She says, how do you know that? I said, it doesn't matter. You were really closed down. I mean, you were like a bomb ready to go off. And that was for a long time, enjoying the alcohol a little bit too much. And it's no way to live your life. So your baby was sent to you to save you. And your baby came and went back, and with that, it knocked all your wall down. And now you're crying, you can't emotionally cope anymore, but you're not angry anymore. And your baby and your loved ones on the other side are saying to you, please don't put the wall back up. Please change the things in your life that you don't like the feel of. Don't put your wall back up so you can endure it and become angry again. Because that's why your baby came, to knock your wall down. And it worked. I left it at that. Now, many people ask me the same question. I've said this many times on camera as well. They ask, did they listen? I have no idea if they listen or not. I just pass on. I channel whatever they need. And if they use it, they use it. And if they don't, they don't. So that's the trance, the way that I use it, and I channel it for information. Most of my book was channeled. I'm not the clever one. Other people are cleverer than me. So a part of me knows nothing, and a part of me knows everything. So you have to know which one you're tapping into before you realise you're going to take advice or not. So, like I said, you have to acknowledge that it's useful to you. It makes sense, because you know when the truth comes. You know when someone's lying. You know when someone's speaking the truth. It resonates with you. You feel it's a different vibe altogether. It's like when you get when I get a coincidence to guide me in a direction, you get like a rush of flow at the same time. So you know. So if it doesn't make sense to you, just throw it away. So next time we're going to talk about the psychology of everybody in a simple way. We're going to talk about psychology, and we're going to talk about the Trinity. So until next time, keep smiling and keep learning your lessons. All right, bye-bye.